so light and I'm really trying to just exhaust my biceps that I'm trying to take all the tension out of the rest of my body. You can see that my shoulders are very relaxed. And I'm using dumbbells. Oftentimes, an individual will take a barbell curl and you'll see this kind of movement. That's like circa 1970s. Hurt your back. This is the bicep movement for 2004 and beyond. Slow, methodical, focusing on form, contraction, control. The rest of my body is pretty relaxed. As a matter of fact, my hands are actually relaxed. I'm not squeezing and I'm not pulling. I'm pulling with my biceps, starting with the biceps throughout the entire movement, letting the biceps do the work. I'm engaging the muscle at the bottom and letting it pull them up. I'm not concerned necessarily about the weights coming up. I'm concerned about the biceps engaging. It's a subtle difference, but it's very important. I'm concerned about the weights, not necessarily concerned about the weights coming up. I'm concerned about the biceps engaging. As a matter of fact, if I just stand here and I don't do a full contraction and I let the biceps engage and I pull the weights and I just actually make the gesture that the weights are coming up, I can feel them engaged, and that's because my hands are relaxed. If I can achieve that down here at the bottom and then start to pull, that's the difference between results and incredible results. Having strong biceps is really important if you have to lift up your children, carry grocery bags, or you have a nice car where you want your arm to hang out of the window. And it's sort of a focal point of your physique. But we can actually get a lot of utility out of strong biceps. I'm using 20-pound dumbbells, and I'm tired already. You can see I'm pulling with my muscles. I'm pulling with my biceps. I'm not pulling with my neck, my shoulders. I'm not swinging back and forth. I'm moving the weights slow and methodically. I'm not coming all the way up here. That's where I'm resting. Here is where I'm working, and here. You may notice that my elbows are relatively close to my body. This doesn't really do anything. This does. I'm extending all the way down, and I'm coming up to a point where I feel my biceps flex, and I'm letting the weights come back down. I'm exhaling as the weights are coming up and inhaling as the weights are coming down. By the way, if you're wondering what this tattoo is, it's a mistake when I was 17. Okay, once I feel my biceps starting to really, really tighten up, I actually change my grip immediately. And I start pulling this way. These are called hammer curls. Now, at what point do I do that in the exercise? Switch my grip. I call this a change-up. I do it when I feel like I can't perform the first bicep exercise using the strict form that I've become accustomed to. And when I start getting tired from this exercise, that's when I put the weights down. You will not believe how it feels when you do this change-up. And we keep going until we can no longer perform the exercise in this manner. Occasionally, if you're feeling really strong, you can do a slow negative rep. At this point in the exercise, you will really feel it. It's all about stimulating the muscle. We don't need heavy weights. What we do need is concentration, form, and superior technique. It outweighs heavy weights every time. And that's what you get after years of training, naturally. I just did four sets of the bicep movement that you saw in the previous exercise. I'm fried. I'm totally fried, but I'm still not done with biceps. That I consider a power movement that we just did before. Yes, we were using light weights, but I consider it a power movement. Now we're going to do a concentration movement. These two exercises, the dumbbell curl and this is actually called the preacher curl. We're actually going to focus on concentrating on peaking the biceps so that your biceps don't just have this long sort of look, but they have a peak sort of look at the top. And everybody wants to know, how do you get a peak? Is that natural? It wasn't natural for me. I worked on it. I forced it. I thought about it. I wanted it to grow that way, and that's how they're growing. But I've done several exercises that really were instrumental in creating the peak in the biceps, and this is one. This is the concentration curl, and I'll show you how to do it. You have to extend your arms completely. You have to put yourself in a very relaxed state, almost at a disadvantage. You can't be leaning over the bench like this so that you're in a leverage position. You have to be really relaxed and sitting on the opposite side, letting your weight sit into your butt and on the opposite side here, and let your arms extend. Now when I start pulling this up, my hands are around it and I'm holding it very tightly, but I'm relaxed. I'm relaxed at the same time. I'm not letting it slip out, but I'm relaxed. Now I'm pulling up slow. And where do I pull up to? Right here. This is where I feel my muscles most tight. This is where I feel them engaged. Any further, and I'm resting. That's not what I want to do. I want to keep constant tension, and that occurs somewhere around here. It's different for different people, but for me, it's right there. Extend all the way. Relax the hands, and pull. Pull with the biceps, not with the shoulders. Keep the hands relaxed. Don't squeeze very tight. Nice and slow. Exhale at the top, and the top is where you feel the muscles contracting. Exhale. And down. Come right back up. And down. Exhale. Inhale. Now, after doing 4 sets of the previous exercise and doing 1 set of this, I'm really tired. But I'm going to keep going. Even if I can only get 4 to 5 or 6 repetitions on each attempt, I'm going to attempt this at least 3 to 4 times. You certainly don't want to go too far. And what I mean by that is, when you feel the pump in your muscles, there's a point where you really just should stop and move on. You don't want to beat them down so much. You want to stimulate them, let them feel strong. Once you feel the pump start going away, that's when it's time to really move on. Maybe take a break. But I'm going to try this one more time and show you again how we develop a peak on the biceps. Extend all the way. Exhale, move up slowly. Peak contraction. Come back down, hands relaxed. You'd be surprised by relaxing your hands, you really engage those biceps. These are the subtle things that make all the difference in your physique. For some reason, I know you won't neglect your biceps. That's why I got to keep you honest, and we got to focus on everything. We're through with arms, or at least biceps anyway.